I think we can start now. So we have a real a big list now and attendees in here now, and yeah. So hello and welcome from my side to everybody here to our newest Tosibox webinar, and we are really happy now today to present you our new Tosibox 300 series and one device for our new 600 series with 5G, the 675, and we have from this webinar, we have split it in like two sessions. So one session, Kari is taking over when he's talking a little bit about our Tosibox philosophy, what we are doing, what our platform is, and how we made secure connection and so on. And after that, you will see how, yeah, our new 600 log and our 300 series will look like. And there's one thing about the webinar here. This is recorded, means when the webinar is finished, you will receive a link. You can watch that later if you want, and you're all muted, so you cannot speak in the webinar, but we have opened the chat and the QA. Please use the QA when you put in any questions. Only the host, Tosibox, me, and Kari will see it, and we will do like this. We will answer the question as we can during the webinar. We will make them public here. We talk about it, about the questions you have, if possible. We have also a session in the end where we have some time reserved to answer your question. Questions we cannot answer in the webinar here, we will get in contact with you later, and we talk in person about this. Okay, cool. So let's go on here and start it. So my name is Martin Lorenz. I'm a pre-sales tech support engineer at Tosibox for many years now. And I'm working with the European sales team together. I'm responsible for our solution platform partners here in Germany and some of our key customers. My background is in more in industrial engineering. I worked there as an application engineer in different companies for a long time now. I'm located in Germany, in the middle of Germany, between Frankfurt and Mannheim. And yeah, in the meeting together with me, I'm really happy for this, is Kari, my colleague from Finland. So Kari, take over the stage, introduce yourself, please, and tell us about Tosibox.
Thank you very much, Martin. Yeah, my name is Kari Hietaniva. I'm from Finland, so I'm based out of the city of Lahti here in Finland. I work in our Northern Europe sales team, taking care of our our partners here in Finland and key customers. And and I'm here today with Martin to, like Martin said, we're kind of split this presentation into two parts. So I'm going to go over briefly the Tosibox fundamentals, so to speak, and talk a little bit about our Tosibox platform. And then I will hand over to Martin to go over in a bit more detail of our platform architecture and the topic of today, the exciting new locks that we have just introduced. So let's start with the presentation. And just a few words about Tosibox for those who are not that familiar with the company, or a refresher for those who are. We're established in 2011, so we've been doing this quite a while. And we are a Finnish company by nature and at heart, but we are a truly global company as well. Our products have been sold to more than 150 countries. We have over 40 partners, partner network in over 40 countries. We have a number of quality and industry certifications in order to serve these markets and serve our customers. And some of our customer, in the next slide, there's also a little bit more about some of our customer verticals that we serve, but some that we would like to mention are building automation, industrial automation, physical security, energy sector, a very interesting and growing sector for us, oil and gas, and smart cities, of course, as well, and a number of others. There's really no limitations where Tosibox can be used. So just to give a quick overview of what we do and what type of customers are trusting our solutions for their OT security. So let's move on. So a little bit about, just a few words about the fundamentals. So what is Tosibox? First of all, we're an easy and secure connectivity solution. We are much more than that, but at the core, we provide the secure connectivity for users and devices. So we provide automated protection for devices and networks, whether they are automation devices or security cameras or any type of industrial machines, servers, industrial PCs, you name it. We can provide automatic protection for those devices and connectivity for those devices. Then we can also provide secure connectivity between users and the devices and between networks and between cloud environments. So we have a very flexible solution that provides secure connectivity for, regardless of whether it's a user client type of connection or whether it's a connection between machines or between a server and the machines. We have the solution. So our solution can be deployed in the data center, it can be deployed in a public cloud, and it can be used by users by using our key technology, and we can provide the secure and resilient connectivity for that. So let's go forward. So today we're not really focusing on the whole platform. We're focusing on the new devices, but I just want to go over briefly the Tosibox platform and what we mean by it. And basically what Tosibox platform is, well, everybody knows, and most of you know our locks and keys, but Tosibox platform is much more than that. So in addition to those familiar locks and keys that provide user connectivity, secure connectivity, we also have a truly centralized, centrally managed solution that provides central management capabilities, central security management capabilities, central visibility with the new Tosi control that some of you are already familiar with. Some of you may have not heard of. We have introduced a completely new visual layer, so to speak, to monitor and manage your OT networks. And in the next slide, basically the benefits of our platform, they're all the same. These are the fundamentals. So we want to provide a security solution that is easy, automatic, and secure, obviously. So all following the same philosophy. Our plug-and-go technology, which is also included in the new locks that we are going to talk about today. It literally takes only a minute to deploy, regardless of what type of a lock is involved. We are making the deployment as automatic as possible, so everything is automatic by default. And of course, security is the most important thing, of course. So we provide a secure solution out of the box that also will be secure in the future because we stand behind it and we provide automatic updates for it. Okay, so let's move on. So just briefly, the components belonging to the Tosibox platform, we have the hub, so the central management, central connectivity point, and on top of that, we have the new Tosi control interface that supports all of our locks and keys and hubs. So it truly provides you a central view to the entire Tosibox network. We have the keys, the USB keys, soft keys, mobile clients, and then we have the locks. So we have a number of lock models available. Today we're introducing a couple of new ones and some of the familiar ones, the 600 series already there. And then we're gonna later talk a little bit about the newest addition to the 600 series as well, the 5G version. So let's move ahead. All right, so a couple of words about Tosi control. We're not really focusing on Tosi control today, but just want to mention it that Tosi control is now available for our customers, and it really truly helps you to understand your entire OT network, to visualize your entire OT network. It basically provides you a real-time network view of your entire OT network, whether you have 5 devices or 500 devices or 5,000 devices. It provides a real-time view to your OT network and helps you manage even multiple organization, multiple networks. So it scales from a smaller side to a true large enterprise use as well. Easy, secure, and automatic. So this is just a very quick overview of the Tosi control. So basically, a web-based interface supports all of our locks. So whether you have the new 300 series locks or whether you have some older models, they can be added to your Tosi control view. It visualizes your network, gives you basically a real-time status of your locks and how your security access is configured, for example. So you have view to your access groups, which are the most fundamental, essential part of the access control. So all of that is included in Tosi control. You can do searches, you can easily find a specific lock, specific user, and so there are search and filtering capabilities and real-time status monitoring. And in the next slide, also one thing that I wanted to mention here is the centralized user management. This is also one of the key components in Tosi control and a new concept, a really new layer of managing access control or doing access control in OT networks is to provide actually through a user identity-based access. So you can actually view and monitor who are the actual people who are using your systems, partners, customers, and so forth. Let's move forward. And also has capabilities to manage multiple networks, especially for service provider type of customers, integrators, and so forth. Let's move forward. All right, so that's a really quick overview of the Tosibox platform and a couple of words about Tosi control. And I will hand over now the presentation to Martin, and Martin is gonna talk a little bit about the platform architecture, and then he will go through the new lock devices and tell you a lot more about those. So go ahead.
Okay.
Martin.
Cool. Thank you very much, Kari. I think that was a great introduction and what we are doing here. And as Kari mentioned, it's only a brief introduction. So if you feel that you want to have more information about it, we are always happy to make another webinar with you, a meeting, a personal meeting, and show you what we have here. Tosi control, web GUI, we cannot do here in this meeting. It's not part of that meeting. But yeah, just contact us, no problem here. So when we take a short, deeper look in the platform architecture, so let's check it out here, how the components, the new ones, the existing ones fit in, and how we do make the secure connection, real end-to-end encryption. And so checking this out, this is a similar picture to the one you have seen in the previous slide. But when I go on here now, and let's take from the top here. So the users we bring in securely with the keys, can be hard, soft key, or mobile clients, and they connect securely to the hub in the middle here, or to any Tosibox node in the field. The Tosibox node in the field can be the 300 series, can be any previous series or 600 series. They connect securely to the hub or to the key by an end-to-end encryption. We have by the side, we have these hardware, physical nodes and logs, but we have also the log for container. I want to mention this because that's a very important product what we have when it comes to third-party hardware. You want to bring in the Tosibox ecosystem by not using a Tosibox physical log. We have that log for container, runs on any Docker environment, but also on some solution platform partners we have, like Siemens Industrial Edge, like on Vago, on Finis Contact, PLC Next. So if you have any use for that, or if it's interesting, again, contact us so we can make a meeting and show you how log for container works here. In the Tosibox platform, the users and the logs connect securely to the Tosibox hub. The Tosibox hub can be run in the cloud. We support Microsoft Azure and Amazon AWS. And but also on any data center, the choice is yours here. You can even run it in your own IT environment by putting it in a virtual environment here securely to make that connection here. From the Tosibox hardware, it's running. You connect safely your IT by an end-to-end encrypted secure connection. And on top of it, we have the Tosibox Cloud. We have not talked so much about Tosibox Cloud. We don't want today, but in a Tosibox Cloud, we have a couple of servers running in some data centers. All of the data centers are, of course, ISO 27001 certified. In the data centers, we have some of our matchmaker, which are the backend of our Tosibox solution. Only servers providing head for the connectivity and for the real-time configuration. Never ever store any user data. User data is your own data. We never can access any data. The user data is running inside of this, the right side here between the hub, the keys, the logs, and your IT. And yeah, and on top of it, when we talk about Tosi Cloud, there is Tosi Control listed. Why I tell you this is it's a bit different from we have a lot of users here in the meeting already know Tosibox. With Tosibox, it's a product you use, you own it, and only you can make connection between everything from Tosibox. With Tosi Control is something. Tosi Control is our first product, runs on a data center as a software as a service. You connect safely over. And I make one slide forward. You connect safely over any browser in the world. So again, software as a service on one of our backend server, but backend server in a external data center here, connected securely from the cloud to any of these keys, hubs, and nodes. The connection here is, we are only talking about secure encrypted connection. It's a TCP TLS encrypted connection to deliver the data to our backend to show in Tosi Control for the user. This is how you can use Tosi Control, any web browser. And one thing I want to mention here, the last thing when you switch over to the Series 300 is in Tosi Control, you can add users by not users, they don't have to use Tosibox keys. So I can invite a user to my Tosi Control ecosystem, and this user can now access and can check configuration of a hub, configuration of a network, whatever. So this user, that's not needed that the user has a Tosibox key in his hand, physical or soft key. That's for the first time something, yeah, a bit different here. When we take Tosi Control in use, would really be nice if you have some need here and interesting in Tosi Control, and we can make a demo where I can show you the web UI, the GUI, how it works. Okay, so now let's switch over to the topic from today. So we are up and running now what the Tosibox platform is. So let's talk about our brand new Series 300 Tosibox devices, the 350 and the 375. And we have made a lot of thoughts and a lot of talks with our customers, and we have checked the market, what is needed in our product range. As we have a lot of devices, locks already fulfilling different needs here. We have used now bring in a new product which is more designed, specially designed for the industrial application market. So that comes with a really compact and slim design, full DIN-well mountable here. That's all in one solution. We have Wi-Fi in, we have 4G in, we have a 4-port Ethernet switch in now, and when you see this now, the one who are new now, okay, they don't know where it fits in our Tosibox range. You have seen that component slide we had previously here in the meeting. This one fits perfectly between our 175 device and the 600, in between from a technical point of view, but also from a price point of view. So it's in the middle between the 175 and the 600 series. The really important thing is when we talk technically how it fits in Tosibox ecosystem, that it's full compatible. It's full compatible to all existing logs, nodes, keys, hubs, whatever you are using at the moment from Tosibox. This one is compatible. All products out on the market from Tosibox are compatible to each other. It goes exactly the same way how we make that connections possible. The fully automated way, physical or remote matching is provided here. It has Tosi Online feature inside, so it's fully integrates, fully compatible in the existing system. And as when I'm looking at the Log 100, the Log 100 is end of life for a long time now. Log 100 is now this year end of service, and we are talking to a lot of customers about what the replacement could be. And sure, it can be any Tosibox log, it can be any 600 log, but this one here fits it maybe perfectly because it has an internal modem. It's from the speed, the same thing in a way, from design, from housing. It's this one is better mountable, but it fits perfectly as a replacement for 100 or 150 series. Okay, available in the for the European market at the moment. US market's coming later. I'll tell you a little bit in a sec. So when we talk about industrial automation, we talk about some requirements, what we have here. And but I don't want to say this is only available for industrial automation. You can use it in any building automation application or security side application, no problem at all. So it will fit there as well. For industrial, I talked about the slim design, the deal rail mount. We have the wiring on the front plate. When you put it in a cabinet with less space, you have to reach all connectors on the front here. We have added digital IOs. I give you a little bit more technical specs, how you can use them now. And for the connectivity to devices, what we have, I switch over to next slide. And let's start with the 350 now. The Log 350 is a device with internal Wi-Fi. The internal Wi-Fi works as any other log in Tosibox environment or in Tosibox ecosystem with as an access point or as a Wi-Fi client. That's the same here for each log. We have a speed, you see that up to 10 megabit of encrypted data traffic inside our secure tunnel. That's for the Tosibox. It's okay for most of applications. Sure, if you have a lot of cameras to connect to a security building application, then you have to consider if it's enough for you or have to go a little bit faster here. For 300 series, it's 10 megabit. We have a 4-port LAN switch inside. This is also new. The maximum we had so far was three LAN port switch inside. The 175 has only one. This one has 4. That's quite nice. You have one WAN port in for connectivity. You have again a USB port. The USB port can be used for physical matching. Remote matching is always supported, but this one supports physical matching again. And yeah, DIN-well mount, I mentioned that. Maybe one interesting topic is the housing. It's a racked housing here, what we have, and we have a wide temperature range, operating temperature range is -35 to +75 degrees Celsius. That's quite a good range, operating range. You can use it in harsh application here. Where it's available, it's in the European market. It's available. We have the full CE certification. What we do for the 350, we do an FCC and UL for the North American market and for the Canadian market. This is coming soon for the 350 device. Switching over now to the 375, this is interesting. It has the same technical specs when it comes to speed, connectivity, etc., but it has a built-in global 4G modem. And this is a nice modem inside because it's a global modem, which means it will support a lot of bands what you have. So not only world, but also in Europe, when we talk about Europe, so this device with a 4G, we support over 20 bands in 4G, we support over 8-9 bands in 3G, and so it's an automatic fallback, of course. So it's a great addition here as a small device with an internal modem, and you can see here from the connectors here, I have one picture here. I go over now. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat. There are coming questions in, I can see now, but please feel free to ask any questions. So Kari is on the chat at the moment. He is typing and answering a lot of questions. So please feel free to ask us questions. So checking the front plate now. When I saw it first, it is remember me the device to Log 500. So guys in the call knows a Log 500. They say yeah that's a Log 500 style, and it is in a way, and I'm quite happy about that. It's when you see it on a DIN-well mount from the front plate. What we have here is we have that antenna connector for the Wi-Fi. That's a standard SMA plug connector. You can use any Wi-Fi antenna you want to use here. And we have some LEDs here. The LEDs, they have one interesting additional feature we had not before. What we always have as a power on is a Wi-Fi and internet status LEDs, but we have also a new SYS for system status LED. It shows you that the log is booted up properly, that the internal system works properly, the modem has no error. So it checks different things inside of the device. If everything is okay, if so, it gives you a code, okay, or it does blink in different codes what is not working well, so you can see from the outside what's going on. We have that standard plug here, what you can see, the screen plug there. There we have our digital IOs. We have 2 digital inputs, 2 digital outputs. I have one slide give you more information technically about the digital IOs, what they are and how we can use it. So go over this now. We have the USB for our physical matching. The one maybe in the call here don't know what that means. Physical matching means I put a Tosibox physical key inside the Tosibox device here, and at this moment they exchange their secure certificates for the secure connection, fully automatic. We don't see it. You cannot see it as a user. You cannot take it in use in any other way. So it's completely secure. Nobody will get in any way your certificates here. So it's a full matching process that's possible over the USB here. We have our WAN interface for internet connectivity, and we have 4 LAN ports for the OT side to connect to. If you have more devices, of course, you can use a switch or to expand your LAN OT side. Going over now to the 375 is the internal modem. It's the same style now, sure, but we have 3 additional things. We have 2 antenna plugs here, again in SMA standard plugs for antenna connection, and we have 2 of them for diversity. You can MIMO diversity in, and you can use only 1 antenna. Best for signal reception is use 2 antennas. We have from the LEDs, we have one nice antenna string or signal strength indicator with 4 LEDs. You can see from the other how good or bad your antenna signal is. So it gives you a bit more information what's going in here. The rest is completely identical to the 350 from the house end. Maybe you wonder now where the power supply is connected to. So the power supply is the only thing together with the SIM card, which is on top of the device. So the power supply goes over a standard industrial 2-plug screwable connector, and the SIM card is behind that SIM card slot here on top of the housing. DIN-rail mount, mentioned it. I just wanted to give you a brief picture here. How does it look like? It's a very small device, 3 centimeters in wide, so it fits perfectly on the DIN-rail now. And what I said before, you can perfectly connect all the cables and connectors, antennas on the front of it. And this is just some drawing. You will find all of our drawings on our website, our data sheets. We have that available for you. And let's go over to the digital IOs. That's something I want to ask you a question when I have shown you what we can do here. So the digital IOs are well known from our log 500 and 600 series. What we have in here is a bit different. We have 2 digital inputs in. You can switch them by standard power supply, by a PLC, whatever. It's 0 to 30 volt DC input voltage. That's the same as we have from the 600 series, but for the outputs are different. The outputs are proper relay contacts. You can switch a lot more of power than you could do before with our devices. So here you can switch up to 150 watt of power with each of the 2 relay outputs. And for how you can use it or how customers using it is they control from the outside the remote maintenance, the connection to the machine. So you can, with an external switch, you can allow first the internet connection, but your devices inside of your machine can go on the internet if this is what you want to do. But also you can go on and allow the VPN connectivity, but from outside it's allowed to go in and to do some remote maintenance, or your machines connect to the Tosibox hub to deliver data to some other IT devices. So this is something you can use the switches for. With the input switch, you can also trigger SMS. That's standard in the system to do this. What I want to ask you now is What is what could your application be here? We are thinking a lot what we should implement, what we can implement, and what is your application? What could it look like? You would have a need for this digital IOs. I have something in mind what we are doing now. So what we have is to switch the digital output from an API, for example, to trigger it over a Modbus protocol. This is something we already test at the moment, that you can interact with the IOs from outside of your log here through the Ethernet, through a specific protocol, for example, but also to have just a plain push button on the web interface to switch it on or off, to turn on some device, turn off some device, something like that. So just please leave your comments. We are really taking care of this and are happy to hear what you can think or what we can do. Okay, so what's in the box now? When you say, think now, hey, what's coming when I buy this device? So what we have in the box is we have the antennas are included. The Wi-Fi antenna is just an antenna without a cable, and when you have the 375, you will get also two antennas ready to go. The antennas are magnetic mountable antennas, small metal ones, 15, 16 centimeters in high, with a 1 meter cable on it. We decided to put a antenna in with a cable. It makes you more flexible, especially for in cabinets where you have to go outside. But if you need antennas with longer cable, no problem at all. You can choose any cable, any antenna you want with any cable and connect it to the device. So what's in else is a power supply. That's a 220 volt power supply. Okay, that's normal use. But we provide an extra plug for the power supply. We provide, of course, the plugs for the digital IOs. There's a DIN rail mount in. You just have to screw it on, and we have the Ethernet cable. There's one question if the device can also be mounted on the side of the device, so the DIN rail mounting adapter not on the back, so on the side. This is something I have to check out. I heard that now a second time this week. I have to say I don't know. I have to see, I have to ask if there are some mounting holes on the side here under this sticker. I have no clue. I don't think so, but I will check this out and I will open it. I will answer that in the question here and let you know. Good. So that's a fast introduction to what we have now from the 300 series, 350, 375 internal 4G global modem, and one question is when it's available. It is available, so we will ship them out. Kari can tell you more here, but in 2 or 3 weeks or so, they are ready to go, and so it's delivery times I think up 2 weeks or so. And let's jump over now to the 500, to the 600, sorry, not 500, to the 600 series. And for the 600 series, we already have a couple of devices, what you can see in the picture here. We are talking about 4 different devices at the moment, and we have a new device, a 695 in 4G. And let's just a couple of words about the existing series. So the 600 series scales up in the sense of speed, connectivity issues, inside processor power, and so on. A bigger housing, more connectors, bigger modem inside. I tell you a bit more in a second. But when it starts, we have that 610. 610 is quite easy to understand how it scales. 610 has no internal modem, no Wi-Fi. So the next step would be to choose a version with internal Wi-Fi. The next one is a version with internal modem. It's a 4G modem, and the fourth version what we have is internal 4G modem and Wi-Fi. That was the existing series, or is the existing series. Why? Maybe there's a question now, why do we split it like this, to have Wi-Fi in and 4G in and not? And we cannot expand it in the end, so you have to go with Wi-Fi if you have a Wi-Fi version. But think about certifications. When you want to bring in a device and you don't need Wi-Fi, it makes you harder to do certification if it has some mobile 4G, 5G modem inside or some Wi-Fi inside. So if you don't need it, let it out and you don't have to certify it, and makes your life a little bit easier here. thinking about now our new device, 695, this is really, really important device. So when we are talking about 5G networks, 5G, it's always in the past, and nowadays it's about talking about speed. It's always the first thing is speed, but 5G is much more. It's not only speed, but it's also coverage. So it's a signal coverage. And we have a lot of application here in Europe where it's going to be like this. So there's people go on the site somewhere, and there's no provider has no signal there. There's no coverage of any mobile, and they put a new signal in, but they put 5G in and not 4G anymore. We have seen that a lot, especially here in Germany, on the countryside. It's perfect 5G, but no 4G, and so we see that as a big enhancement for customers going now in applications, but they have really weak 4G connectivity and they need 5G now. It's inside of that device here now. And talking about what's inside the 600 device, just in a brief thing. So the 5G modem is a 5G EMEA modem, means you can use that device in Europe, means in Europe and in Africa. So you can Google that EMEA, which countries and areas it covers. But it's we have that only for the EMEA version. We do not have any APAC or any US version for this 5G at the moment. And what you can do is this internal modem is a 5G and downwards compatible 4G and 3G modem. So it will pick up the right signal what you have here. And for the speed of the pure speed of the device, when you use it as an internet connectivity device too, then it's much more than a 70 megabit. We have here now a 70 megabit connection speed inside. We can have a much higher connection, of course, when we use it as an internet gateway. And what we have in is Wi-Fi. Of course, Wi-Fi is access point or Wi-Fi client. We have a dual SIM slot in for redundancy. We have only one modem, but 2 SIM card slots means you can use a redundant SIM card, switch over if one provider fails. You can switch onto the other for real critical applications. You can use that. I go over to next slide, and I also talked about the data throughput. Data throughput, I saw one question here now is why the data throughput is 70 megabit like on the other series. So we have limited at the moment. So it can be that we will increase it in the future when we see, okay, everything is fine with it, the device can do more, but we have limited at the same speed like the 600 series have at the moment. Again, it's not our first important thing to have a higher data throughput, but more the coverage, but it can come that it will be higher in the future. So we are testing it. The internal switch is a gigabit LAN switch, and it's also with 4 ports here. You have seen that the 600 series has normally 3 ports LAN. This one here has a 4-port LAN switch. So, and also is gigabit for an internal OT network, which is limited not by it is not limited by 100 megabit of the LAN port speed, so we can go up to a gigabit. We have digital IOs, the same digital IOs we had on the Log 500 series, but for the digital outputs, we do not have a relay contact here. We have an open collector output here. So from a technical installation, it's a bit different from 300 series. There are more specs in the data sheet. I don't want to talk about more about that here, about this digital IOs. What's inside is GNSS. It's our global navigation system. Supports Galileo, GLONASS, GPS, and the Baidu. And so it will get GPS data. It will show GPS data on the web interface, but the GPS data is also shown in Tosi Control UI. Tosi Control UI will be added in short time, a couple of weeks, with some really nice map view where you can see all of your logs are located when you use GPS on your log. If you don't use GPS with your log, you can also put a static GPS coordinates where your log is located in to see it on a nice map where all of your devices are installed. The housing, maybe one word about the housing, is really wrapped aluminium. It's IP30, and the operating temperature even more than on the 300 series, -40 to +75. Talking about the LEDs for a second, only 2 or 3 slides left here. Talking about the LEDs, what is interesting here is we have a full overview about what's going on, which SIM cards you have put in, if Wi-Fi and Ethernet is on, which signal is chosen here, which band here, 3G, 4G, 5G, and there's also a little signal level meter here for your SIM card. 4 LAN ports, 1 WAN port. The reset button is not a reset button. Maybe some of you will now say, hey, there's a reset button in the end, but there is no. The reset button will enable the service port. If you do some misconfiguration and you have logged out yourself from some port, you can make one port as a service port with a fixed IP address, and you can log in here when you're on site. We have the power block here. You can see it's a 4-pin standard industrial Molex pin adapter, and on the back side we have a bunch of antenna connectors. What we need is 2 Wi-Fi for diversity, and we have 4 mobiles, even 4 mobiles, because 5G can go up much higher now with more and more antennas to have better signal reception. With special antennas you can have a great reception here. USB port for physical matching, and that's the backside. The mounting is quite interesting, flexible, because you can put the DIN mount adapter on any side you want, except the sides where the adapters are. But you can put it on the back side or on the small side here to mount it. What's in the box here is we have decided to put a couple of things, and so it's a power supply in here. We have also a little a power adapter in the box where you can do a self-crimping power adapter. We have a DIN adapter, of course, some Ethernet cable, and antennas. Antennas we provide only standard antennas. We have 4 of them in the box for the 5G, 2 for the Wi-Fi, and but also here SMA connector. You can use any antenna you want to use here. What's interesting is we are always asked for the 600 series, hey, do we have special power connectors? Yeah, we have. We have a power connector, or you need a power connector, because on the power connector also the digital IOs. We have that power connector adapter here for the IO access, and we have, which ends up in a terminal here, and we have one cable ends up in some lines, isolated lines. You can go in and make your installation. That's a lot what I've told you now. We have all that available in written down in the data sheets, very full of information data sheets. So you can find them on Tosibox.com. You can find all of our information. You can find the data sheets. You can find updated manuals. We have quick start guides updated for the 5G version, for the 300 series version. You can find our approval documents, and we have also a nice technical help desk on our website. When you go to Tosibox.com, contact support, you're on our help desk, put in anything you want to know, and you get a bunch of hits here, how we can help you with some walkthroughs, how-tos, and all of these things. And we have also a so-called security center. In a security center, we have listed our approvals. We have listed a really nice security white paper where you can read in five pages about what we do, how we do it, and every detail, what protocol services that we use. That's a quite often used document to make you know what Tosibox is doing here. And so that's it. We are now time for some QAs. I haven't followed it now in the end. Kari, are there still open questions we can answer? So I have to breathe now. I have not.
I answered some of the questions, but there's still one open one that maybe you can clarify a little bit. There's a question from Søren about the Modbus support. How exactly does the Modbus support work with the new locks? Are they seen as slaves, so you can read the digital inputs via Modbus?
Mm-hmm. This is a good question. We have not finalized the Modbus integration yet in the 300 series. If it will be finalized, it will be something like there's a Modbus slave inside. You can read the Modbus over the Ethernet, over Modbus IP in the end, but that's not finalized yet. So I will take the question here, and I will talk to Søren about what we are doing at the moment. Yeah, so there's some, I know that in America, our American team, they are working much more with Modbus in their application. They already use it in a way, but we will make it public. I think so. We will make it public here in the European market as well. So yeah, I will take it and I will answer him.
Excellent. I think that was the only open question we had open, but hey, we still have a little bit of time. Well, we're pretty much at the end of our time, but if you want, go ahead and put those questions in the QA, and we can still answer them, or we can get back to you after this presentation.
Absolutely, yeah. There's one thing we want to mention when we talk about what are upcoming events we are doing here, and especially now for the German market, there's one series of events. It's called All About Automation. This is a very nice event, which is an event that takes place locally in Germany, in different cities all over Germany, and it grabs the topics from these areas, and it's in industrial automation fair, really small, and it follows one way which we really like. So every company which takes part in this event had the same booth size. So it's on you. When you go on Tosibox now, you see a booth here. It's maybe 2 meters in wide and 2 meters in depth. And on the next stand, there is maybe a big company from Germany, but the same booth size. So they keep it low at this, and this is really something we have learned now. We do that for a couple of years, and this is really something where you have much more, much better audience here. Really small event, but that's cool. So that's coming now in Germany. We have that Niagara Summit, so we partner with Niagara, and we have a lot of customers using Niagara and Tridium. So this is something coming in the US market. The Sweden market, there's one building automation fair coming every second year. The All About Automation in Heilbronn, you see that's the next one, and there's one in Finland, Kari, that's your industrial show. We have an own booth there.
Yeah.
On that fair, yeah.
Yeah, we have the one in Finland in May, so welcome to visit and talk to us there as well.
Yeah, okay, cool. That's good. Okay, so that's what's coming up. The last slide, what we have, there's one webinar coming, and I want you, if you are interested, please register to the webinar. This is done by our CTO, Dima, and he's speaking, I think, with you, Kario. You are in that meeting too.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, very good.
Yeah, we'll be there. So welcome. Please register, sign up for that webinar if you haven't already, and welcome. We'll talk a lot of interesting things about the cybersecurity in automation networks. So a lot of interesting stuff there for sure.
That sounds interesting, and it's very important. Though that's in every meeting what we have is it's more question about security than about anything else. So yeah, really good. Yeah, very good. So I say we are a bit over time now, but we are at the end of the webinar. I want to thank you everybody for joining in, and yeah, I wish you a nice rest of the day, and I hope it was good for you, good information. Come back to us, to Kari, to me, to anybody else at Tosibox. We are here for you. We do individual meetings, and yeah, thanks again, and bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks again from my behalf as well. Have a great rest of the afternoon.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.